Today, we're counting down the 10 deadliest animals in Africa, from giant predators to tiny nightmares with wings. I'm Matt Lycrife, and you're watching Keyspecies Spotlight, number 10. The Great White Shark, 1 to 5 deaths. Starting our list is the ocean's most famous horror movie actor, the Great White Shark. Found mainly along the coasts of South Africa, these massive predators patrol waters filled with seals, basically an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Now, shark attacks are actually rare, but when they do happen, nobody forgets them. A great white can detect tiny vibrations in the water and attack with explosive speed from below. 1 second you're surfing, the next second you're starring in your own documentary called Mistakes Were Made. The good news? Humans aren't their preferred food. The bad news? Sharks sometimes taste test first and apologize never. Number 9. The African rhino, 5 to 10 deaths. Rhinos may look like giant armored lawnmowers, but they are surprisingly fast and unbelievably dangerous, especially the black rhino. Despite having poor eyesight, rhinos have an incredible sense of smell and hearing, and if they think something is threatening them, they charge first and ask questions never. A full-grown rhino can hit speeds of 55 kilometers per hour. That's basically a 2-ton tank with anger issues. And here's the scary part. Rhinos don't always stop after impact. Imagine getting chased by an animal that looks like it was designed by a medieval weapons engineer. Nature really said, what if a unicorn gave up on happiness? 8. The lion, 200 to 250 deaths. The lion, Africa's apex predator and the king of looking majestic while committing crimes. Lions usually avoid humans, but under the wrong conditions, they can become man-eaters. Old age, injuries, or lack of prey can push lions toward easier targets, and humans are unfortunately slow, soft, and terrible at biting back. Some infamous lions, like the Tsavo man-eaters, became legends after hunting humans repeatedly. And honestly, seeing a lion in a zoo is exciting. Seeing one outside your tent at 2 a.m., that's a spiritual experience. A male lion's roar can be heard from 8 kilometers away, which is nature's way of saying, you still have time to panic. Number 7. The Cape buffalo, 200 to 300 deaths. This is the Cape buffalo, also known as why hunters update their wills. Buffalo are famous for being aggressive, unpredictable, and unbelievably stubborn. Most animals run away when threatened. Cape buffalo sometimes do the opposite. If wounded, they've been known to hide in bushes, wait for the hunter to return, then ambush them. That's not wildlife anymore. That's revenge. They can weigh nearly a ton and use their horns like giant battering rams. And unlike lions, buffalo don't even need to be hungry to attack you. Sometimes they just wake up and choose violence. Number 6. The African elephant, 300 to 500 deaths. Elephants are intelligent, emotional, and surprisingly gentle, until they're not. Especially during a period called musth, when male elephants experience a huge spike in testosterone and become hyper-aggressive. During this time, an elephant can attack cars, buildings, or anything unlucky enough to exist nearby. And considering an African elephant can weigh over 6,000 kilograms, you do not win that argument. Protective mothers are also incredibly dangerous. Get between a mother and her calf, and congratulations, you've unlocked the boss fight. The craziest part? Elephants can silently walk up on people despite their massive size. Imagine hearing absolutely nothing, then suddenly discovering a living bulldozer 2 meters away. No thanks. Number 5. The Nile crocodile, 500 to 100 deaths. If Africa had a real-life river monster, it would be the Nile crocodile. These ancient predators have barely changed since the age of dinosaurs because evolution looked at them and said, yeah, that's already terrifying enough. Nile crocodiles are ambush hunters. They wait silently beneath the water with only their eyes exposed, then explode upward with terrifying force. And they are not picky eaters. Fish, zebras, antelope, humans, everything is on the menu. Some estimates suggest Nile crocodiles kill hundreds of people every year. And their death roll? pure nightmare fuel. They grab prey, spin violently underwater, and tear it apart. Basically a floating blender with teeth. Number 4. The hippopotamus. 1,000 to 3,000 deaths. Now here's the twist nobody expects. The hippo is actually Africa's deadliest large mammal. Yes, that giant water potato with tiny ears and a big smile is an absolute menace. Hippos are extremely territorial in water and surprisingly aggressive on land. And despite weighing up to 3,000 kilograms, they can outrun humans easily, which feels illegal. Their tusks can grow up to 50 centimeters long, and their bite is powerful enough to crush boats, bones, and probably your confidence. The scary part is how fast they switch moods. One second they're relaxing in the river, the next second they're launching themselves at tourists like angry submarines. Honestly, hippos look cute until they open their mouths. Then suddenly you realize, oh, this thing was designed by demons. Number 3. The tsetse fly. 1,000 deaths. At number 3 is an animal most people don't even think about, the tsetse fly. It may look harmless, but this insect spreads sleeping sickness, a deadly disease caused by parasites. At first, symptoms seem mild: fever, headaches, fatigue. Then, the disease attacks the brain. Victims can become confused, lose coordination, and experience disrupted sleep cycles so severe that the illness earned its terrifying nickname. And without treatment, it can be fatal, which means this tiny fly has a higher body count than most predators on Earth. Imagine surviving lions, crocodiles, and snakes only to get defeated by something the size of a raisin. That's humbling. Number 2. The black mamba and other venomous snakes. 20,000 plus deaths. The black mamba is the stuff of nightmares. It's the fastest land snake in the world, capable of moving at terrifying speeds across the ground. And despite its reputation, it usually avoids humans, unless cornered. Then everything changes. A black mamba can strike multiple times in seconds, injecting a deadly neurotoxic venom that shuts down the nervous system. Without antivenom, the mortality rate is almost 100%. It takes around 30 to 40 minutes for victims to experience paralysis and respiratory failure, and about 1 hour for complete respiratory failure. There have also been recorded cases of full respiratory failure happening in 20 minutes. And no, the name black mamba doesn't come from its skin color. It comes from the inside of its mouth, which it displays like nature's warning sign saying, "You picked the wrong day." Number 1. The mosquito. 550,000 to 600,000 deaths. And finally, the deadliest animal in Africa, the mosquito. Tiny, fragile, annoying, and responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths every year through diseases like malaria, dengue, and yellow fever. Malaria alone has shaped human history for centuries. What makes mosquitoes so terrifying isn't strength or speed, it's efficiency. You rarely don't hear them coming. You barely notice the bite. But the diseases they spread can devastate entire communities. Which means the deadliest creature in Africa is basically a flying syringe with anger management issues. Humanity really spent thousands of years evolving intelligence, technology, and civilization, only to still lose fights against tiny, buzzing vampires. So that's it, 10 of the most dangerous animals in Africa. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and comment which animal terrified you the most.